Hello, everybody. It's Bill's that college football guy. Here another video. Yeah, I'm getting uploaded up here in where's it? Seville, Ohio, up near Akron, Cleveland area. We got to have a coaching carousel update. I was gonna have in this video about the screwiness that's going on with the athletic director at the University of Hawaii, but the JY and the Big Mountain, they beat me to it. They have check out their channel, the Big Mountain Podcast. They did a little bit of in depth on it. And there's also more stuff leaking out, like their largest donor to NIL says, because you're part of the athletic director, I won't donate another dime. It's getting messy over there, but so check out their video on that. I was going to include that in this, but the coaching carousel, we have a little bit of things going on here. There's the last one I did, and I got asked, could you do one of the updates on that? Because I got too many of them that have happened, because somebody hasn't been catching up here. So on a recap what's happened so far this season, started October 20th, we had two coaches that got fired, and then it goes on up until a retirement announcement on November 20th, 1 month later. Well, first off, Will Hall, head coach of Southern Mississippi, this happened a while back. He was let go. 14-30 at Southern Miss. Reed Stringer, the assistant head coach / GM's the interim head coach. They're somewhat responding under him. Same day, Mike Houston, the head coach of East Carolina, was fired a while back, 27-30 at ECU. Blake Harrell was the DC. He's the interim head coach, and they've actually been playing quite well under him. October 27th, this wasn't the last one, Mike Bloomgren from Rice was let go. He was 24-52 at Rice. Pete Alomar, who was previously the special teams coach, has taken over. Not really much of a change there. Here's where the fun began. November 11th, Brian Bohannon from Kennesaw State was let go. First year in FBS, let go. I'm like, why are they doing this? 72-38 at Kennesaw State. Last 3 seasons, 9-20. That includes being in FCS. 9-20 the last 3 years. So now it makes Chandler Burks, who is the OC, is now taking over as the interim head coach, and I can see kind of why they let him go. Mike New, the head coach of Ball State, was let go. 40-63 at Ball State, not exactly that happened November 16, not exactly an outstanding record. Kylan Johnson, who was the O-line coach, is now the interim head coach there. This one kind of was one of the ones I thought was coming. Like Bohannon, I got him at Kennesaw State, I didn't see coming. I will admit that one. The one at Rice, they've waited so long, and they're not really caring about football. Why the hell would they fire anybody? Well, they finally did. But we'll see how that goes. Now, this one kind of surprised me. Stan Drayton at Temple. 9-25. Normally they let coaches run a little bit longer, but Temple decided, no, we're going to get rid of people here. Excuse me. But they decided to let him go. Everett Williams, who's the DC, is taking over as the interim head coach there. Now we're going to get November 18th, 3 head coaches were fired. Biff Poggi, who was at Charlotte, former Michigan staffer, 6-16 his 2 years at Charlotte, was let go. And the assistant head coach, tight ends coach, Tim Brewster, will be taking over there. I honestly don't think it was a right fit culturally with Poggi. It just didn't seem like it fit there. Here's one that kind of surprised me. Don Brown, who was in his 3rd stint as head coach of UMass. This last stint, he had let go. 6-28. This wasn't the runs where he was doing really, really well in UMass. He had a run where he did some great things at UMass, but FCS level. But they just can't keep up with it. I mean, there's a possibility there's still talk going around that is UMass possibly going to drop down. With them going to the MAC? No, they're not. Shane Montgomery, the OC, is taking over as the interim head coach. Now we got the one that was kind of funny here. Tom Herman, Florida Atlantic, former Texas head coach. 6-16. One thing about, one thing, like Chad Lunsford takes over. He's the interim head coach. He's the special teams coach. Previously, he was the head coach of Georgia Southern. He'll be bouncing around. They're unloading me right now. But the fact is that Willie Taggart found out that there is a special clause in the contracts, and Tom Herman had it in his. And Tom Herman's contract, but somebody leaked it. It was on Blue Sky, where There's a clause in his contract that states the fact that you can be reassigned to a non-football coaching position and then get a buyout at a lower amount of money, or it can be reassigned for prior determination for the same reason. Willie Taggart was reassigned to the athletic facilities department prior to being fired. No news on if Tom Herman's been reassigned yet. But maybe Tom has been reassigned prior to this, and we don't know about it. I don't know. But that's a little interesting clause, and apparently Tom Herman's contract has a similar clause in it, but nothing revealed as to what it is yet. And then comes the one that I figured was actually going to be a firing, and it's not. November 20th, Jim McElwain, former head coach of Florida, current head coach of Central Michigan, announces he'll be retiring at the end of the season. 33-35 in Central Michigan. His claim to fame lately, other than the fact of being a guy at Florida that didn't do too good, I mean, Central Michigan, is a sign stealer guy. That line's his, and it's immortal for him from now until eternity. When Connor Stallions was on the sideline with the lights on the side of his light, checking a look around the corner, looking to see if there's any footage and all that. Remember that? I kept wondering why the hell did they reach out to him, and I realized I forgot about something. Like, Jim McElwain was wide receivers coach under Jim Harbaugh in 2018. So he's a Michigan man. So, Connor Stallions doesn't formally hired as a staffer until May of 2022. Prior to that, they said he was a volunteer. He wasn't paid. Okay. See, I can further throw that idea. But yeah, this is going to be a situation here. So basically, it's Central Michigan's under investigation for this. I think prior to him being fired for cause, he had to voluntarily agree to retire and say, you know what? You're done. You're done. No more. You're done. And I kind of get it. You walk out of this because you're trying to keep your reputation intact, but the fact that Central Michigan's going to get tattooed on this, because that investigation is still ongoing and it's still linked to Harbaugh. And the fact is, if anybody who is related to the staffers on Michigan was involved with this, they will get an additional suspension tacked on the one before. So I would say Connors, enjoy coaching high school and getting obliterated, because it looks like you're going to be there for a while if you're doing any coaching at all. So that basically, Jim's running out before he get on there, or he was told you're retiring or we're going to go after you. I don't know if the NCAA suggested that. I highly doubt it. But then again, who the hell knows how the NCAA works anymore for investigations? Because I don't. So, yeah. So, we had, the start of the season, Utah State, Blake Anderson had their coach, and Fresno State's head coach medically retired. So, Fresno State, Utah State, Southern Mississippi, East Carolina, Rice, Kennesaw State, Ball State, Temple, Florida Atlantic, UMass, Charlotte, and Central Michigan, all looking for new coaches. I just noticed something. Southern Miss is in the Sun Belt. Kennesaw State's in Conference USA. Ball State, UMass is independent. Ball State and Central Michigan are in the MAC, Fresno State and Utah State in the Mountain West, but East Carolina, Rice, Temple, Florida Atlantic, and Charlotte are all in the AAC. 5 head coaches in the AAC have now been let go before the end of the season. Then again, if you look at the AAC standings, you got 4 top spots and then a hell of a drop-off. And there's going to be more probably going to get canned because it is really, really bad. They're being carried by the top 4. But then again, the top 4 are, look at them. The schools that are left for the original American, everybody else is the Conference USA schools coming in. Charlotte, Conference USA. Florida Atlantic, Conference USA. Temple was the original one, so that was on there. Rice came in from Conference USA. East Carolina is an original. But, damn. We're going to see a lot more firings, folks. Does that put that down? As to who may get canned next, we're probably not going to find. I doubt anybody's going to get fired before the last game of the season. Then you got to expect anybody to get fired with 2 games left. But, so that being said, I might say they're not going to fire anybody else. I can't guarantee that now. Could there be coaches? Are we going to see some coaching carousel moves happen prior to the start of the bowl games? Maybe. Coaches getting hired? Maybe. Players hitting the portal? Most definitely. Now, I've done enough blabbing about this. So why don't you let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments. So again, thanks everybody for watching. If you haven't done it already, smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps the algorithm be able to see more people. Comment on the video. You saw the ones on there. Who do you think? Give me 1, 2, 3 in the comment section. Who do you think might get fired next? In the season, not after. After, there's probably going to be like 30 to 40 let go. But in season, how many? I'm like, would Kent State let their head coach go with such a poor showing? You know, he's in his first year. Was Florida's vote a vote, or was it a vote of confidence to see if they can get something out of Billy Napier? Mississippi State, Jeff Levy's on his first year. Could Purdue be looking for a new head coach? As bad as they've been playing. You let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments. Share the video if you want to. If you want to subscribe. I'm sort of stop hammering that home about everybody because it's like, comment, share, subscribe. Here's my question for you. Probably do that starting the next video, so I start hammering it. You know, do all the good stuff for me, like, comment, share, subscribe. But yeah, we got. Everybody is wondering. I was gonna do a video, but I'm not. Why do you think the SEC is doing what it's doing? You do understand the fact that Tony Petitti and Greg Sankey are in lockstep on this. Greg doesn't mind being the pit bull to get yelled at. But Petitti's barking just as loud. He's just doing it a lot quieter. Don't think the Big Ten doesn't want this too. About the more spots in the playoff. I still think this is all the push. When the end of this contract comes up, they form their new subdivision if they can't get what they want. And I still think that's coming. And as I said, they'll be poaching schools from the Big. I don't know if a whole conference is going to be able to move up, because not everybody. I still believe that if it's going to be revenue sharing. That'd be the basis for that, because that way you can't get sued, because everybody who revenue shares moves up, and if you don't revenue share, you don't. So you had the option to do it, and you chose not to, so you can't be sued for something you refused to do. That was on you. But I'll just make that statement here. So thanks everybody for watching. Everybody's having a great Thursday. Days are running together, aren't they? So have a great day. Be safe out there, and please be good to each other.